Mike Moore Media.
Deer season opens tomorrow, September 12th, in North Carolina. And on the line, North Carolina Wildlife Officer Philip Griffin to give us some information. Officer Griffin, how are you, sir?
Doing great. Hope you are.
Well, I'm doing well, too. And as I said before we started our program here, I'm not a hunter, but so many people are, and they know the basic things. But let's go over this. It's so important, isn't it, as deer season begins? What do we need to know?
Lots of different things, but certainly the safety regulations and regulations of what you can hunt, can't hunt, and the different seasons and what license that you'll need.
Now, as deer season begins tomorrow, and I understand there are several different dates for this, so what actually begins on Saturday?
Bow season starts Saturday.
Bow season. Okay, archery,
yes,
okay.
Sir.
And a lot of people are into that, aren't they?
Sure are.
Yeah.
Sure are.
Okay. And I know safety is the main issue when it comes to rules and regulations. So what should we be doing and not doing, perhaps?
Making sure that you identify your target once that animal appears, that deer appears that you want to harvest. Making sure that you identify that target and what's behind it. There's not going to be a whole lot of pass through like rifle season, but it's still paramount that you identify your target. And then also with some hunters are going to be utilizing a tree stand where they climb up into a tree. There's going to be different types of tree stands, and making sure that you use that and using all your safety precautions, use your safety harness. And so when you're climbing up and while you're in the stand and when you're climbing down, that you make it home from the hunt.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. So archery season tomorrow, September 12th through October 2. And then what about black powder and gun?
Well, we've got 4 different regions in North Carolina, so there's going to be 4 different seasons. Statewide, archery season starts tomorrow statewide, but then we've got a northeast and southern east deer season. We've got a central deer season, northwestern, and then western. So depending on what part of the state that you're going to be hunting, make sure that you look at those dates because the archery season, black powder, and gun season are going to be reflected different in those different regions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at that date information now, and we can get that information. Where's the best place to get the information, Officer Griffin?
You can do it online on your phone or computer, whatever works for you. Go to ncwildlife.org, or you can pick up one of these regulation digests that we put out every year at your local sporting goods store, Walmart's, Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy Sport, any wildlife agent has these regulations digests, or if you see a game warden, wildlife officer around, you can get one of these regulation digests from them most likely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm sure the hunters know all the ins and outs of this, and like you said, there are all kinds of different dates involved. But ncwildlife.org, great source of information for sure. And I'm wondering, have we seen? You think we'll see an increase in the hunting season? I mean, the hunters out there now because of COVID-19. Lots of folks just wanting to get outside, getting in the woods and on the water and all of that. Have you seen any changes because of all this in the last months?
Yes, sir. I certainly think we're going to have an uptick in participation with bow season and hunting season. We saw a huge increase. I don't know the numbers, but we saw a huge increase of turkey hunters during April and May, and then the amount of people out fishing and using the waterways, boating this summer was a big increase. Mm-hmm. So if that's any reflection of what hunting season will be like, we should see a lot of participation in that activity.
Yeah. Where are we? I was talking to some people the other day. Where are we in dove hunting now?
So we're a weekend. It started this past Saturday, and then the 2 big days of dove hunting was Saturday and Monday. There'll still be some people out enjoying dove hunting, but we're a weekend to dove hunting. Mm-hmm. And then also goose season started September 1st, so there's some folks out there goose hunting as well.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for that information. I was out taking some pictures the other day, and I came across some dove hunters, and I think he was telling me, what is the limit?
It's 15.
15. I think he said he'd gotten 8. So I was kind of interested and just kind of happened up on them. But I was in and out in a hurry, taking my pictures and getting out of their way.
There you go.
Yeah. But the hunting season is always popular in North Carolina, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It sure is.
Well, I appreciate this information. Again, ncwildlife.org for information about what we're talking about today. I know there's been a lot of activity on the waters. Let's talk about that a little bit because although that's kind of winding down, I guess, but still some fishing and things going on out there. And safety, there again, is number one on the water, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It sure is. We've always safety is our main concern. Hunting, fishing, boating, any activity outside. When you leave, we want you to enjoy the outdoors, but we also want you to go home the way that you came out there.
Yeah. And what are some of the main violations that you see on the waters here in our state?
The past couple of years that I've noticed is children not wearing a life jacket that are the age of under 13, that they're under 13, 12 or younger, not wearing a life jacket while on the waterway. And then impaired boat operators, either be it alcohol or any other type of illegal substance, or even medications if they're impaired operating. That's one of the big things that we're trying to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, again, a life vest preserver, what's the actual term for that now? I've heard it all through the years, different words.
PFD or life jacket.
Life jacket, PFD. Okay. So that's required on what age again?
Under 13. Anyone under 13. On their 13th birthday, it'll be up to their parents. But by law, North Carolina, it's under 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting to hear some of those, to find out what the violations are. And what's the most serious infraction, say, where it comes to hunting or boating and violations? What's the worst thing someone can do?
I would say on the waterway is operating while impaired, and then especially if you injure somebody when you're impaired, that gets very serious. It actually becomes a felony if you seriously injure somebody, or hopefully not kill someone. But if that happens, that is a felony offense. But I would say operating while impaired on the waterways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty serious for sure. Now, what about just hunting around in someone's pond, doing some fishing out in the country? What about license and things like that?
Yeah, fishing-wise, you've got to have in any public waterway. You've got to have a fishing license. That in our regulation digest shows the different prices and stuff. You can have a short-term and a year-long annual license. Hunting-wise, you got to have a hunting license unless you own your own property. Or just like on fishing, if you've got a private pond, you don't have to have a fishing license. If you're hunting your own property that you own, you do not have to have a hunting license either. But anyone over 16 has to have a fishing license or hunting license.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
and then if you're going to hunt big game with the deer season coming up on Saturday, you've got to have a big game report card. And we recommend if you're going to do, there's a lot of different licenses, and you can look through the regulations digest and our website to get what your activity that you're going to particularly use. But we recommend a sportsman's license that covers all hunting and fishing activities.
Okay. So a sportsman's license covers everything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, you've covered some very important information here. I appreciate this. I know lots of folks are, into the hunting seasons all through the year, and that's very important for recreational activities for sure. Anything else we need to mention, Officer Griffin?
Yes, a couple of different things with again, everything is about safety for boating and hunting. We do, anyone born after January 1st, 1988, on the boating side has to go through a boating safety course. And those are things that we teach in person, but we're not currently doing that now with the COVID stuff going on. So that will have to be an online class that you would find, and you can all the stuff you can find on ncwildlife.org. But anyone born after January 1st, 1988 has to go through that course in order to operate a boat on the waterways. And then on the hunting side, you've got to go through, if you've never had a hunting license, you've got to have, or taking a hunter education course, you have to take a hunting safety course to get your license this year. So with the season coming up on Saturday, try to get that. We're, again, not teaching those in person. You can find those online. We've started here in North Carolina, started a virtual hunting education class, but there are some other states that are doing them as well. So you can find those to get that certification before you can purchase your hunting license.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, that's very important. Okay, well, thank you for that information. And this has been good talking to you, getting acquainted. I appreciate it very much. And
sure thing.
I've learned a lot, and we'll be talking again from time to time. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And I'll add one more thing
Sure.
with the hunting, with the big game season starting on Saturday. We do have new big game tags this year. And in the past, you would just notch the tag once you harvested that animal, and then you would register it. This year, you're going to have to notch the month and day on your tag in order to properly tag that animal.
Okay.
When you harvest it.
So
the tags are different this year.
That's something new then, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to talk to you. Thank you again for being out there, and all of you folks with North Carolina Wildlife. We appreciate your service and helping us get out and enjoy things safely in the woods and on the water. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your interest, and good talking to you.
You too. We'll talk again.
All right.
That's Philip Griffin. He is an officer with North Carolina Wildlife, and Facebook page for that is NC Wildlife Resources Commission. And then we referred to the website a couple of times, ncwildlife.org, ncwildlife.org. Lots of good information at both of those sources. And I'm Mike Moore. Thank you for listening.